Awesome. So welcome to a really advanced strategy, the Instagram power influencers. Now, before we do get started with this one, it does come with a warning. So this Instagram growth strategy takes a lot of time and effort. But the upside of it being difficult is that not many people do it. And if you are to dedicate the time and effort to do this, or if you wanted to outsource it, because we do something like this for accounts at Social Fastlane, and we get great results, it is more expensive, of course, to outsource something that is very time intensive. But if you wanted to outsource it, or if you wanted to take the time to dedicate yourself to your Instagram account, you're going to get hundreds of thousands and millions of followers. This is where you really can separate yourself from the crowd, because it is something that most people stay away from because it is really hard to do. But once again, the payoff is massive. So it's up to you whether you want to outsource this, whether you want to do it yourself, or whether you just want to use the other strategies in this course to grow your account to a medium to large size level and not really transcend that into the really big advanced accounts. So this, once again, is the micro test. And as it's been represented, it's had 100 people as a sample view the piece of content, and 60 people have engaged with it, and Instagram have determined it's high quality content. But what I've actually been hiding and keeping a big secret, not actually, I've simplified this so you can build an understanding of the easiest form of this first, and now we're adding to it so you can actually understand this on a more transparent level, is that people on Instagram are actually not weighted the same. You can see that there's different types of Instagram users, and Instagram actually give each type of Instagram user what's called an engagement weighting. So 99% of Instagram users are the smallest. They're a grade 1. You can see really tiny in terms of influence on Instagram, and that's most people, 99% of people. But then you get a couple of steps up. So you have grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, and then grade 5 Instagram users. And the big ones are called power influencers, the massive ones. And this is 0.01% of Instagram accounts. But Instagram see they're a massive account, see they have a really large amount of affinity with their audiences. They see that the content they're posting is really high quality. And Instagram are like, wow, that is a very impressive Instagram account that a lot of people like. And therefore, their engagement, whatever they engage with, is far more powerful than what the rest of Instagram are engaging with. And this is what's called a power influencer. And one power influencer is worth tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of normal Instagram users. So the key here is that Instagram are valuing the power influencer's engagement far more than a regular user. And the hack here is to be able to put out a post during its micro test phase, have these power influencers with really crazy power. That's why they call it power influencers. But with a lot of social proof and a lot of trust from Instagram that if these power influencers were to engage with your content must be incredible. And therefore, if you can get a group of these power influencers, say 25 of them, to interact with your post as soon as you posted it, your exposure boost is going to be through the roof. This is what's going to make your content go viral, and this is what made our content go viral. So the question becomes, where do we find 25 power influencers who want to comment and engage with our post as soon as we post it? So another key on that, they should be relevant to your niche. They can't be power influencers in another niche, but every niche will have power influencers. So there are two ways that you can do this. You can do this through DM and like groups, and you can do this through paid engagement. So DM and like groups, they're very simple to explain, but basically you can see here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Say these 8 people are all power influencers. Now when a power influencer posts a photo, they also want other power influencers to like that photo or comment on it or stop scrolling on it and engage with it, because that's going to increase their account standing and their post through the roof. So they have what's called DM and like groups, which is basically just a group in the Instagram DMs of eight people in this circumstance. And they're all power influencers in there. And one person posts and they say, hey guys, just posted, can you please go like and comment? And the other 7 people are like, yes, we're on our way. And they go and they like and they comment on that post during its micro test phase. Now, why do they do that? Because they may post a photo the next day. And the next day, guess who's going to like and comment? The other 7 people. And they take in turns. Every time they post in this like and DM group, and everyone else goes and likes it and comments on it, and it gets a really big boost in exposure. So, how can we join an existing DM group full of power users who are going to help promote our content? Well, you can join an existing group, because there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of accounts out there that of DM groups out there that already exist. You can just be joined. But they normally, if you're not a power influencer yourself, they're going to charge you quite a bit of money, which I think is worth it, depending on the exact amount and how effective the group is. So you can determine if that's worth it or not. Or you need a significant amount of followers. But if you don't have any of these two and you don't really want to invest in that yet, I can totally understand. You can actually create your own DM group. So how do you do this? You can reach out to power influencers. And this is actually a really sneaky strategy that I'm sort of excited to bring you, because not many people are doing this. I've seen a few people actually do it out there, and I've thought that it's one of the most genius ideas when it comes to increasing your Instagram reach, but not having an account that has a lot of likes and followers, or not having a lot of money to pay to enter these DM groups yet. So how do you create one of your own? What you do is you go and you search for your king hashtags, and that's going to bring up people. So you click in people, and you're going to see, and this is the entrepreneurship niche, these power influencers. You can tell they're power influencers basically because of their followers. If they have 900,000 followers and they have high engagement, say a lot of comments on their posts, they're a power influencer. So you want people with a lot of followers. And this one's name is Entrepreneurship Facts. So all I do is I click that follow button, then I click message, and I write them a message. I say, hey, Entrepreneurship Facts, your account is awesome. We are starting an exclusive DM group with 10 quality entrepreneurship accounts with between 200,000 and 1 million followers. Would you like to join? And then you list who's already committed to it. At the moment, we have Entrepreneur Heaven at 110,000 followers and Hustle Heart at 650,000 followers. Now, this Entrepreneurship Facts account are like, wow, okay, so if I join this, I'm going to have access to 10 accounts with between 200,000 and 1 million followers who are going to be interacting with my post as soon as I post it. That's a very lucrative offer. And what you have to do is you have to be the glue that holds these people together. So you have to go out and you have to sign up these people one by one. But at the end, guess what? You've got 10 to 25 power influencers in your DM group. Once you've got 10, it's really easy to keep adding, because you're like, hey, we've got a DM group with over 10 million followers between us in it. Do you want to join? Everyone's going to want to join that. But you sneak into that group because you're the one putting it together. And all of a sudden you have these power influencers, and you have contact and connections with these power influencers who are going to promote your stuff and engage with your stuff as soon as you post. Now, that may take you 2 weeks to put together that group. But if that took you 2 weeks of hard work to put together that group, you are going to absolutely skyrocket as soon as you put that together, because any piece of content you put out with is now going to get thousands and tens of thousands of interactions because of these power influencers liking and commenting on your content during the micro test phase. Now, an easier alternative to this, if you don't want to put in the weeks of work, is paid engagement. Now, what you have to understand is that the most powerful influencers don't really want to be interacting with your stuff. If you have 10,000 followers and they have 2 million followers, you're not on equal playing ground. So like, hey, I'll interact with your stuff if you interact with my stuff. They're like, I'm a power influencer and you're not yet. So no, thank you. But what happens is you can equal out this sum if you add in a couple of dollars. And a lot of people are doing this. Basically, you can pay per comment and like. And this could be a really good way to get started to see if you can gauge the influence of these power influencers. So if you say you reach out to someone, say Entrepreneurship Facts, like we did in the other example, and you say, hey, I just put out a post, I'll give you $2 if you can like and comment the post, and I'll actually give you $2 10 times for the next 10 posts I put out with. Let me know your PayPal. I'll send it over to you now, and I'll just message you when I need the likes and comments. And they're going to do it because all I have to do is go to your post, double tap and say very nice, and they made $2. And if they do this with 100 different people, they're making a lot of money. But for you, it's just a couple of dollars. And you can see the difference that the influencer has on your account. And if you want to go out and start doing this to start, it's very, very common. And a lot of people are going to know what you're talking about already. So you just need to go and reach out to the influencers like we did last time. And you just said, hey, you just say, hey, username, how much would it be if I wanted you to like and comment on a post? Thanks. They'll let you know how much it is. You can pay them, and you can test this strategy out and then build your like and DM group around these massive giants who are really going to blow up the exposure on your post during the micro test phase, and therefore blow up the amount of people who see your posts, blow up the amount of people who come back and follow you. You create affinity with them, and then therefore your account is just in this really cool snowball effect where you're just gaining this momentum. And then you can build trust and monetize these accounts. And this is how you build really successful Instagram accounts. This is where you start.